Riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com. Today, we have a really cool bike. This is a 2024 Suzuki GSX8R. Alright, here we go. So, we all know the GSX-600 and the 1000, but what has taken place recently in the last few years, the manufacturers are making these parallel twin motors. This is a 776cc parallel twin with a 270-degree firing order, 8-valve, 83 horsepower. You can pump it up if you start doing some modifications, obviously. But what this represents today is a bike for the masses who want a sport-style machine. And what we've been seeing lately are these bikes that offer all the stuff that you love in terms of sport bike, but without all the contorted body positions that you have to normally sit in to get underway, to go ride. This has a handlebar configuration where you are definitely sitting upright. The Aprilia over there, the Honda, those Cowies over here. This is what we're starting to see are these parallel twin style motorcycles with these high mount bars or some sort of a bar, high mount clip on that allows you to ride this thing all day because you're in a more neutral position. It's a mid-style control. It's not, these are still a rear set here, but these are not as far back as you would normally feel on an actual super sport or a super bike. So having said that, this looks awesome. Amazing. They got that all day. They nailed the styling. The headlight to me reminds me of the Ducati 999. That stacked light array is pretty cool. The thing that makes this really neat is the compact design. The rear tail section is nice and compact. It just has that feel when you look at it. Like everything's really well put together. It doesn't have this gangly feel at all. It feels really solid when you sit on it. And just looking at this thing, you can tell it looks more aggressive than it actually feels when you sit on it. So that's one of the neat things. It looks way more, than what it really is. So as we get into this, you see the blue. It's got some metal flake going on, not a whole lot. You got your black. That's pretty much it, other than the silver, which is very lightly flaked. This has the the radial mounted 4-piston calipers from Nissan. You can see here, blemish wise, there is one. This is it right there. That's the worst of it. It's a little funky. Looks like something got banged a little bit. But other than that, that is really it. There's nothing on the bar end to say it was down. It looks like just something bumped into it probably. But other than that, this thing is in great shape. It's gorgeous. That is the stock exhaust. The bike weighs about 452 pounds. Tank's a 3.7 gallon tank. Pretty much a normal size. Really a clean machine. This is something that, again, a sport style rider who wants to have all the trappings of a sport bike without having to feel as though you're contorted or you have to sit in this really locked in position for any length of time, because that's where the bikes sort of lose people, because they are aggressive and they feel it. Well, this one and these new bikes that are coming into this range, they all have pretty much that feel where you can kind of sit on them and ride them all day and feel as though it's somewhat of a standard bike, but yet it does retain the whole sport style motif going on here. Really a clean bike. Like I said, that was the only blemish that I showed you, so there's really not that much in terms of blemish wise to show you. You can see here the tail section is removed, so you got a tail delete, but you do have the The turn signal's on there. As you can kind of see, these are now starting to take that more modern look. As we turn this on here, you got your screen. Everything's digital. Multi-modes, traction control, you have all that stuff in here. You can go through this and adjust parameters as you see fit to the style of riding that you like to do. This has the gear indicator. You can see your fuel gauge down here, temperature, this is your tach. In the middle here saying 0 is your speedometer. You have ABS light and a bunch of other lights in terms of your warning lights and things for motor, oil, any of that stuff is all on that screen. And again, this is something that you're able to kind of go in here and adjust. These are your riding modes, your traction control level, off, 1, 2, 3. So I would imagine 3 is the most in terms of the interruption. 1 is the least, besides just turning it all the way off. So this is where you're controlling this up and down in your mode. Right here is your high beam, low beam switch. Low, high, low, high. Turn signal and your horn. So pretty standard stuff besides this. Over here, hazards and on-off kill. So really simple stuff for a bike that's got electronics and some wizardry that they are starting to now all come with. But again, as you see, everything's really nice and compact right here. It looks like a normal sport bike, but as you get riding it, you're sitting upright and you're not feeling as though, like I said, you're so bent over and locked into a position that you feel as though you're kind of stuck. So let's go through this with the turn signals. This is going to be your left, rear, nice and bright for your LED. Be left front. See that? High, low, high, low. That's right rear, or right front rather, and then right rear. And then we're going to do, well, that's kind of cool there. Cancel. And that's your brake. Wow, that is bright. So that's interesting how they do that. This will be handbrake, that was foot brake. Alright, so there you have that. Everything works. We are going to start this thing up. It's not going to be crazy loud because that's a stock pipe on it. Got the cat, all that stuff, so it's not going to be ridiculous. However, it does give you a little bit of that fire going on. So let's check this out here.
When we service your bike, we hand you a key, not a need to have a toolbox.
All right, sounds like a twin, right? Relatively quiet. Nothing that's going to wake the neighbors up or scare anybody in the neighborhood. Real snappy throttle. It feels substantial when you twist that throttle. So it feels like an 800. There is some power there. It is a twin, so it's not going to have that peaky power like you normally see on a GSX-8R or a 1000. This is the twin. So it's going to make power down low. You're going to have that torque. If you have a passenger, that's really going to come into play. But as for a great all-around bike, this is that. Oh, it revs. 270-degree twin. I don't care who you are, you're gonna have fun with this bike, that's for sure. That is for sure. Kill. Yeah, that's, I mean, if you put a pipe on this thing, that's gonna sound awesome. It is gonna rock, there's no doubt. You can just see, you know, it's a good looking machine overall. And for the rider that does want a sport bike but doesn't want all that contortionist riding style, this is the bike for you. Any of these really with that raised handlebar style going on. So now every one of our bikes gets our 48-point check. So We put a battery tender lead on every bike. Really, oil and filter. That's basic stuff for us. Check the charging system. It just boils down to whatever the bike needs, it gets. Being something like this so new doesn't need much. So you're definitely going to get a real quality piece in this bike for sure. Gorgeous machine. Just a stunner. And that blue is a good looking blue too. But again, we're trying to make a bike as close as we can to what it was when it was new, being it still that it is a used machine. This thing is really close. And can you see the mileage was on this one? Come back on. Let's see here. 965 miles. Yeah, not even 1,000 miles on this bike. So this thing is as close as you're gonna find to a new bike as a used machine. So definitely gonna check this thing out. So if you are digging this gorgeous 2024 Suzuki GSX8R, give us a call, 717-273-1809. Now you can see our full list of our current inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have financing options available. We can ship bikes if necessary, if you're close enough. We can deliver them. We have aftermarket warranties. All the things that we do at cyclehunters.com is really for you to try to make sure that you get the most quality piece that we can put out there for you. So all you're doing is just thumbing the starter and putting a smile on your face and ride down the road and enjoy your day. So if you're digging this bike, give us a call, 717-273-1809. Like and subscribe, share the videos. Tell me what you guys think of this thing down in the comments. This is the new offering from Suzuki. I do think it's pretty cool. I'm a hardcore sport bike rider. I always am gonna like those, but I like two wheels and a motor, and that's really what all these are. So however you accomplish that, this is the new one. This is the new style from Suzuki. Pretty cool bike. So until the next ride, happy riding.